The 2016 Renegade Bass Classic is a two-day event taking place on Dog, Cranberry, and Whitefish Lakes. Three very different bodies of water. 40 teams have earned their spots here after battling it out in 4 Renegade Bass qualifiers. After 2 days, the team with the heaviest combined weight will not only win the title of Classic Champions, but they'll take home a brand new Ranger boat.
They need $16.95 to take the lead.
It's the first morning of the 21st Renegade Bass Classic. Based on today's forecast, the fishing should play well for some teams, but may cause issues for others.
No, I'm kind of hoping it stays a little cloudy and maybe get the fish a little more active. It was clear when we were out here pre-fishing, and it was a real tough bite. So we're hoping for some improvements over that.
We were looking forward to this lake coming into it, but after spending some time on it, it's not the Dog Cranberry Lake that we know and love. It's fishing very tough and very off-colored.
Always feeling good, but the way this water's fishing right now, it's going to be a tough grind, but that's the way we like it, so hopefully we can come out pretty good today.
We know where some fish are. We thought we knew where some big fish were. It's just a question of getting them to bite. We figure if we dunk our baits long enough, we're going to get one, so that's what we're going to do.
Tomorrow's supposed to be really windy though.
Yeah, so we're going to try to get as much weight as we can today, because tomorrow might be a totally different ball game with that wind.
Our pre-fish has been up and down. We've high hopes and then disappointment and back and forth, but I think we're going to do all right today. We're hoping for a top 5 finish.
I think it's going to be slow. I think the bites are going to be limited, and landing all your fish will be critical. I think someone will get them, but I think overall for the field, I think the weights are going to be low.
Despite the anticipated variables, 40 of the top anglers from Ontario and Quebec are here, and there's bound to be teams that figure out the pattern for the day.
Just wanted to say welcome to all of you and congratulations for making the top 40. Official time, 6:57. All right, good luck guys, and we'll see you at 4 o'clock. All right, let's go.
The anglers have 3 different bodies of water to choose from, and each requires a different approach. While they race to their spots, teams are hoping that they've made the right choice. Even though there are 3 lakes to fish in this classic, there's still a chance that teams will end up sharing spots. While maximizing the time in the water is important, so is being the first to get on a spot. Let's take a look at the 40 teams competing in the 21st Annual Renegade Bass Classic. Their starting position is based on the Team of the Year standings after 4 qualifying events held on 4 different bodies of water. Top honors are awarded to the teams that show the most consistency over the course of the season. Dave Chong and Doug Brownridge won the Classic last year and are looking to repeat. They're starting off the Classic as the #1 ranked team in the Renegade Series.
We were the highest ranked team after 4 qualifiers. We had the most weight of any team there.
Renegade team.
What was it? 80 something?
Yeah, 80 pounds for 4 events. We had a good year by the results. It's frustrating when we were fishing because it seemed like we were making things up every tournament, but it worked since we were team 1.
You guys got a limit yet, or?
4.
only one that even counts. 3 that better not be in our bag.
We scramble well. It's not something we want to do, but apparently it works for us, you know.
Driving by the seat of our pants has been very, very good this year.
Tag that thing is sad. They're all sad on that side.
I don't think there's any more pressure in being team number 1. I mean, we go into every tournament planning to win the tournament, whether it works out that way or not. Obviously, nobody wins every tournament.
And we didn't win any this year.
Yeah, we didn't win any this year. We were damn close, but so no additional pressure, no more than we normally put on ourselves as it is.
Sometimes you just gotta pin them to the mat. We're gaining.
While Chong and Brownridge have the number 1 position, it's Team 8, Lenny DeVos and Jeff DeLodge, that are seen by most as the favorites to win this year's Classic.
Lenny being the favorite, it's no gimme, he can take it. He's gonna have to earn every pound he catches, and he better catch him.
Lenny and Jeff's morning doesn't begin under optimal conditions. Their first spot is a bit crowded with Team 11 on one side of them and some locals fishing on the other. With the locals pulling in fish after fish, Lenny makes the decision to run another spot.
Experience level on this body of water, I would say it's in the high end. Probably one of my favorite largemouth bodies of water, just for the fact that, you know, we live so close and the amount of time we put on here and the amount of club tournaments and bigger events. Renegade's been here 4 or 5 times. I think we've won this twice, a second and a fourth or something like this on this body of water, so really looking forward to this.
A little bit of a disappointment, first couple spots. I mean, even this spot, we caught 1 fish out of it. It's not working out. So I think the fish are here. It's just a matter of waiting them out maybe or what. But I got too many spots in this lake to find out if they're actually biting. If they're not here, we go. Number 2. See if he's got any buddies down there.
It's early morning on day 1 of the Renegade Bass Classic, and teams have settled into their spots. Team 40's John Billiveau and Chris Burton have 1 fish in the live well, but things have quickly slowed down.
These lakes are a slow bite, or you light it up and one person catching and one person's using the net. There's no middle ground.
No, I find that the fish have moved out a touch more. It looks like they're going to a deeper pattern. But we're finding them like clumped into weed patches, it seems like. So whereas last week I was getting them right out in the open. So we're just gonna go with that and see what that brings us.
Pretty slow bite so far, but we're finding most of our luck's been in the afternoon. Need the sun up higher.
Brought us luck.
It's been sunny all summer, except today. Yeah, a little bit changing the weather for us here, so see if we can find the pattern. We want a nice, bright, hot, sunny day. It's supposed to get worse as the day goes, so we'll see what happens.
I fished weeds all day. I was supposed to do some other things, and I had it all planned out last night at the hotel room at about midnight, and then that changed when I got on the water today. Flipping around weeds like a lake like Dog and Cranberry, you don't know when you feel that thunk if it's big or small. You can guess, but until you set the hook and bring it in the boat, you don't know. So they might have been all this big, or they might have been all that big between the eyes. 5 more big ones to go. We're 5 fish away from winning this tournament.
Having a successful practice increases your chances dramatically when dealing with multiple lakes and changing patterns. For the teams, the elimination of water can be just as useful as finding them.
I practiced last week 3 days. Out of those 3 days, I'd say 2 of them I wouldn't want to talk about. 1 and 2 bite days. One of the days I had a fairly good day and figured out a little bit of a pattern, but that was a week ago. Overall, I wouldn't say we had a great pre-fish.
We could only get up today, and needless to say, it was not stellar by any stretch. I'm not even sure we had 5 bites.
We had a few other places where we shook some fish off, so we'd have no idea what they're like. We'll see when we get there.
We found a few things that might hold some promise if we explored a little bit. Caught a lot of fish, a lot of small fish, so we're hoping to be able to key in on something specific to find those bigger fish.
We ended up finding a spot where we really keyed in on a lot in this tournament, and probably 4 or 5 of our best fish came off that area, so I was pretty pleased to kind of stumble upon that area. Unfortunately, we weren't the only guys that found it.
I thought I knew this lake inside and out, but now with the water down approximately 2 feet, I found some neat stuff out there that I didn't know about and found a few spots because of it.
We paid our dues here. We really wanted to find out, are they mid, are they shallow, are they weed lines, are they in openness? And the answer was they're in all. So how do you balance that? In the next few days, we'll see how we're going to balance it.
Most of my practice was looking around the lake, just trying to find some new areas, new spots to try out.
Yeah, that's important. You can't,
all the right ingredients.
A good pre-fish is not all about fishing. We were out for about 5 hours, targeted a couple of areas. I was fortunate to catch my largest bass I've caught yet, 6.5 pound largemouth. So when we come back for the tournament, we are definitely going to be targeting that area. Ed caught a 4 in there, so we were quite pleased with the short duration we had.
I mean, we got a few decent ones. We'd like to know where there's a couple 5-pounders sitting.
It's hard to see. The visibility is, in certain parts, is almost 0. And even if you have a fish on, you don't know how big that fish is if you're shaking it off without actually sticking it and landing it. We're obviously on fish. Whether those fish turn out to be all 2-pounders or we get a couple 5s thrown in there.
1 5-pounder would make a huge difference in our day. But same with every other team there, right? So we haven't seen one yet, so I guess we're due. Just saying.
With the sun making an afternoon appearance, will the bite turn on for any of the teams?
We have a limit, but we have 3 okay fish. And 2 crabfish. We just added another crabfish to it, so we'll have to have a look at them. Sadly, that fish might call.
200 yards, and then there should be another fish over there. Yeah. Or at least there was.
Yeah, we're on some nice smallmouth, some deep smallmouth pre-fish. They just haven't shown up yet today anyways. Hopefully soon. So far everything's going wrong for us.
day went on, I think, I'm not sure if the storm front coming has turned the fish on a little bit, but we picked up some pretty decent fish. We're in that, we figure in that 18-pound range.
I think we're on good spots. I think the fish are just off. There's a shallow spot, throwing some topwater stuff. I did it last weekend, and we had a couple of blow-ups today. I just don't think they're eating it yet. When they turn on, these spots might be good.
Our pattern's not really holding up. This is what we found fish on in our pre-fish. We're kind of cycling spots around and around. Just kind of waiting for the fish to move up. Getting better.
Whether they struggled or succeeded, teams are doing their best to catch whatever they can in the last remaining hours of the tournament. Some teams are trying to get a limit, while others are looking to upgrade and cull the fish they have in their live wells, all in an effort to end the day on a high note. While ending the day with the highest weight might not guarantee a win, it helps towards achieving that ultimate goal. As teams come in for the day one weigh-in, they assess the results of their day out on the water.
We never had anything strong going as far as the pattern goes, so sometimes you're the bug and sometimes you're the windshield.
We got like 40 fish, 40, 50 fish, and we got a good bag.
I think we're going to be looking up, so I think there's going to be a few teams that are in front of us, but that's okay.
Well, our day didn't go as good as we wanted to, but we had to use some fish up that we were hoping to save tomorrow, but you never know. It's going to be a grind tomorrow, though, I know that. I think it's going to be like that for everybody.
Afternoon, folks. I'd like to welcome everybody to the 21st Annual Renegade Bass Championship. Tomorrow afternoon, somebody's going to take home a $65,000 Evinrude Ranger package, which is the biggest individual prize in Canadian competitive bass fishing.
The time has finally come for the 40 teams fishing the Classic to reveal just how good or bad their day was. Team 1, the reigning Classic champions, Brown Ridge and Chong, are one of the first teams to hit the stage. Although they struggled to cull the small fish they caught earlier in the day, they did succeed in catching a big one, weighing in at 4.77 pounds, helping them stay within striking distance.
16:38 is the official call for Brown Ridge and Chong.
Team 8, Lenny DeVos and Jeff DeLodge, lived up to the tournament expectations, cracking a 19-pound plus bag, setting the bar early in the weigh-in.
I think that unofficially puts you in the lead.
We had a pretty good day. Hopefully it doesn't affect us tomorrow, but we fished a few spots that we didn't want to fish today, and hopefully we can pan out tomorrow.
We'll see what happens. Gene Barnett and Levert, what's going on, my buddy?
Oh, it was a fun day. We got like 45, 50 fish. We got a decent bag.
While Steve Barnett and Jack Levert's great day on the water netted them an 18.08-pound bag, most teams would fail to challenge Team 8's day one total. The waters refused to give up a solid limit for most of these anglers, making a big fish worth its weight in gold.
No, 2 small fish really hurt our bag, but that's fishing. We tried to upgrade to 3 good fish and 2 not so good.
We're searching for the longest time, and we got on these fish yesterday. We decided to go back and have a look. We never set the hook on anything. 491 is the official call. Turned out all right. Buzz baiting all day. Not so great. No. Well, we got 6 fish all day. We'll see. How big is big? Go tomorrow maybe and get some better fish. Figure this place out.
Team 36 would be the second team to weigh in a bag over 19 pounds. Their 19.22-pound sack would help get them within 3/100ths of the current leaders. With only 5 teams left to weigh in, Team 8's lead was still intact. As Team 38 handed their basket to the weighmaster, they quickly indicated they may have a bag to take a run at the current leaders.
Are you serious? Oh, there's only one prize though. Let's see, this looks like a pretty heavy basket. Maybe, yes, no? Oh yeah. 1926.26 is the official call. Awesome catch, guys.
Dave Western and Dwayne Clifton would take over the day 1 lead, as well as taking big fish honors with a 5.42-pound largemouth bass.
Going into this tournament, we were going back into a later type season, so we started focusing on a little bit shallower, more into our patterns again, and that's what helped us out today.
As day 1 wraps up, the race tightens as the top 3 teams are separated by just 4/100ths of a pound, all bringing in a 19-pound bag. 11th through 20th is separated by less than a pound, with the teams boasting a little better than a 3-pound average. With solid performances all the way into the 30th position, tomorrow's catches can shift the leaderboard substantially. For the teams looking up, they will be swinging for the fences come morning, looking for 5 big bites.